What's up, guys? My name is Spartan, and this is episode 13 of the Beginner Progress series. This is a video series that I wanted to start basically with the intention of showing you guys, brand new players, me on a brand new account, somebody who's been playing this game for a year and a half plus, and yeah, that way you guys can basically just see what I'm doing, see why I'm doing it, and ultimately, maybe it can provide some insight for your tower so that you can prevent making some of the same mistakes that I made on my first tower. So yeah, this is episode 13, like I just mentioned, and we've got a lot to talk about during this episode, so stay tuned for the whole thing, and drop a comment down below really quickly and just let me know how your tower is looking. Leaving a like and a comment on the videos really does help with the YouTube algorithm, so I would greatly appreciate it. And obviously subscribe if you want to see more of my content as well. I would appreciate that also. And with that, let's go ahead and go home and we can check out the tower. Starting off here in the stats page, we are currently at 12.77 trillion lifetime coins, 2,800, almost 2,900 stones earned, and we currently have 711 researches completed. But don't worry guys, the quicker we get lab speed maxed, the higher this number will basically go. But anyway, it's been a wild ride since the last episode of this series. As I mentioned last video, I did want to experiment and start trying to farm tier 7. We are now fully farming tier 7, as you guys can see. It's been quite lucrative for us. Our coins per hour are basically averaging around 40 per hour, which is fantastic. That's really good news. And at this point, we're getting very close to 1 trillion coins per day. Super happy with that. Likewise, the sell income has been quite good as well. And let's go ahead and just dive into the workshop so I can show you guys everything we got going on here. So not a whole lot has changed in terms of the attack upgrades, but the defense upgrades, a lot has happened here. We've obviously still been working out on our wall levels, slowly trying to max some of this stuff out. We did end up maxing out landmine radius because it's just one less thing to worry about with free upgrades. Yeah, we've got our health and our health regen both above 5,000 levels. So this is mostly for the sake of doing better in tournaments. If you're just looking to max everything out during farming, you really only need to get to about 4,500 levels for each of these. But like I mentioned, this is mostly for the sake of tournaments because I barely survive like 800 or 900 waves in platinum, so I definitely need to work on the health regen so that I can basically max this out super quick during the run. And so far it's been pretty much doable. I'm now able to basically max health regen and health during my tournament runs, just with cash. As for the rest of this stuff, we'll just continue kind of working on it over time. Moving on to the utility upgrades, you can see we still pretty much haven't touched a whole lot in here. We need to just max this at some point, but we'll get to that later on. Then enemy attack level skips, we are also still slowly but surely working on this. As you can see, it's quite expensive, but we'll get there someday. Moving on to the enhancements, we still have nothing in terms of the damage enhancements. I don't know, I just don't think I really need it. I feel like the value would be much better spent either getting more econ or more survivability. So that's exactly what we've done. You can see in the defensive enhancements, we've been working on health regen and health pretty much exclusively up to this point. And then in the utility enhancements, we've been working sort of on a back-to-back balance between cells and coins, but these are obviously getting very expensive. Survivability is really going to be the name of the game and quite frankly the path of least resistance for us overall in terms of coins spent. Doing this right now instead of econ will actually help us afford this better econ via farming higher tiers and getting higher amounts of waves. So that's sort of the gamble that we're working on at the moment and sort of the mindset behind what I'm doing right now. Now moving on to ultimate weapons, you can see we have very few stones. They are a commodity, but we still have the natural sync with all three of our golden trinity, which is perfect. We also, the most recent purchase was we went ahead and got quantity 2 of Death Wave. This will sort of do two things for us. It will help us obviously with econ, both through coins and cells, but it will also help us kind of stack up our Death Wave health a little bit quicker in things like tournaments and milestone runs. Definitely Death Wave is something that we needed to work on sooner rather than later. In terms of what will come next, I'm thinking that we will likely put a couple clicks into the Death Wave damage, again, mostly for the sake of tournaments. but also reduce the cooldowns of the Golden Trinity so that we can start getting the sync cooldown reduced and improve our econ. Because remember guys, econ is truly the king of this game. Like, coins are literally everything, at least at this stage. But that's going to cover it for the workshop. Let's go ahead and dive into the cards. All right, so in terms of the cards, we still don't actually have another maxed card, and we also have not purchased any more slots. As I mentioned in the past couple episodes here, we've been mostly focusing on modules for the sake of the featured banners. But the featured banners are no longer here. So what that means is, because we kind of spent so much time working on modules, we got some pretty good stuff going on with the modules. So I think for the meantime, we're going to kind of pivot a little bit and sort of rebalance our account by focusing more on these cards. If I'm able to max out some more of these common cards especially, that'll be a really good situation. Hey, look at that, we just got an epic card, so super cool. But yeah, I think card slots, I'm still pretty happy with that, but the card levels is really the thing that I need to work on. Getting a max level extra defense would be great, max level enemy balance, obviously coins, cash, health as well. All of these would be definitely pretty beneficial for us. So that's going to be the tentative game plan for probably the next week or two, is just kind of rebalancing our account by working on cards. And then after that point, we'll probably go back to what I have done in the past, which is buy your 80 cards, buy the equivalent amount of modules, and then save up for a card slot. I think that's overall the most balanced approach that you can take. But speaking of cards, that is actually going to wrap it up for the cards. Let's go ahead and move on to the modules. We have gotten very lucky with the modules. We have several mythics at the moment, as you can see. We got the Mythic OA, Mythic Plus, I should say. We also got a Mythic Plus Primordial Collapse, which is absolutely great. And we have a Mythic Plus Dimension Core. In terms of the other modules, we need only 2 more Primordial Collapses to get our very first Ancestral module. That would be fantastic if we were able to get that. We also only need 1 more Dimension Core. 1 more Dimension Core to basically get our first Ancestral module. So what if we were able to get an Ancestral Dimension Core? How crazy would that be? Also, we are only 1 Multiverse Nexus away from getting Mythic, and then we should be able to get Mythic Plus shortly after that. And that would technically be really awesome if I could use the Mythic Multiverse Nexus, because then I could go the path of least resistance and just start working on dropping the cheapest cooldown first. So like I would do Black Hole basically until it's really expensive, and then I would go for Death Wave after that. Like, that would be awesome, but as I mentioned previously, because not everybody has access to Multiverse Nexuses, because this game is RNG and everything is seeded, you have no say over what modules you get. On my main account, I got 2 Ancestral Ohm chips when I barely even want 1 Ohm chip. As I mentioned, I'm not going to be using MVN on this account, at least probably for another few months, until it would be basically justifiable and people would be like, oh, okay, you've been playing for 8 months. It makes sense now that you would have a legendary Multiverse Nexus. In terms of the rest of the stuff, I think, yeah, like I mentioned, I feel pretty good overall with how the modules have been going. It would be great if we could get one more Galaxy Compressor so that we can go ahead and get this to Mythic. And it would also be great if we could get 2 more Sharp Fortitude so that we could get this up to Mythic, because right now we are currently maxed out on our levels. So that's really the only part that sort of sucks, but it's okay because these shards are going to just continuously stack so that when we do have enough to upgrade this, we'll already be able to take the levels up quite a bit. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the modules. Let's go ahead and dive into the labs. So within the labs, you can see we're still, for the most part, just working on survivability, trying to get the wall regen quite a bit higher. That'll be super beneficial for us. And likewise, getting the base health up to level 40 so that it basically matches our health regen. I've been kind of just bringing both of these up in increments of 5 levels, and I think I'm still pretty happy with that overall. In Lab 1, we have Death Wave Cell bonus right now. I think the tentative plan is I want to take this up to level 10 and maybe call it good on that one for a little while. Just get a little bit of extra cells by doing that. And then I want to continuously work on some of these other ones, like we need to finish Black Hole Coin bonus. We need to work on Spotlight Coin bonus. obviously the Death Wave coin bonus as well, and the GT bonus and duration. These are going to be our primary econ labs for quite a while, pretty much until they're all maxed. But in order to sort of maintain a balanced approach across the whole account, we don't want to have all of our eggs in one basket, right? So I'm working on a little bit of EHP stuff here. Now that my wall's in a decent spot, I'm able to just have kind of 2 labs focused on my EHP. I have lab 2, which obviously is permanently going to be lab speed because I am fanatical about lab speed. And then lab 5, this is kind of our floating module lab where we have various different module labs because, again, getting good headway on these module labs early on is a true game changer. So that's definitely something that we're going to continue to do. As soon as we get Deathwave cells up to level 10, we're probably definitely going to put like Black Hole coin bonus or GT coin bonus, something like that in there. And just to briefly show you guys the history, this is what we've been doing. We got level 11 wall thorns, which is okay for the meantime. We've got level 6 wall fortification, which is really good. This one is super, super expensive. So we definitely want to get wall fortification a little bit higher as well. Likewise, we did put a little bit into the crit factor lab, mainly just for the sake of getting our death wave health finished a little bit quicker. And yeah, it is going to be a big boost in terms of tournaments, getting that up. With that, I think that that's going to wrap up the labs. Let's go ahead and talk about the tournaments. All right, so within the tournaments, we actually have been able to stay in Platinum now for just one tournament. So we had this one here where we just got really unlucky. And in terms of the actual bracket, we got kicked back down to gold and we did 1,500 waves in gold and got rank 1. So I hope that we do not have to go back to gold. But we will see after tomorrow's tournament how that all shakes out. But in terms of this right now, we're hoping to be able to stay in Platinum League. That would be the goal from now on. Even if I'm just able to stay at the bare minimum, that's going to be 50 stones per tournament, so 100 stones a week, and it just goes up from there. So that's going to be our big goal. I mean, obviously, if we did do the back and forth kind of drop down, get gold, we'd still basically be getting the same amount of stones, assuming that we got rank 1 each time, versus just trying to aim for 16 through 24 and staying in. The only real difference would be the gems, but honestly, it's fine. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the tournaments. I mean, it's been a real challenge trying to survive in the tournaments and be competitive, but that's the name of the game, and that's why I like this game. I like to try to be competitive and grow and improve. But with that, that's going to wrap it up for the tournaments. Let's go ahead and dive into the events. Yes, so new event. And by the way, if you guys do purchase the event boost, please consider using code 300. I would really appreciate it. Just type it in here to your settings, or if you purchase from the web store, which I would encourage all of you to do, you have to scroll all the way to the bottom and then type in the code there. And if you purchase anything on the web store itself, you actually get 10% extra gems. So it's kind of a win-win-win across the board. Selfishly, I get a little bit more commission for code 300 purchases, and you guys get 10% bonus gems. So not a bad trade-off. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you guys would use my creator code if you purchase anything for this game. Just be aware that you do have to reset the code every 30 days. But in terms of the event, I mean, we already purchased the tower and background skin, and we got the tower health relic here. Next stop for us is going to be getting the defense absolute relic, getting that one out of the way, and then basically working on the golden bot after that. So that's going to be the tentative plan for us. We'll probably try to at least do 2 clicks here and try to get some more stones, but we'll see how it looks after we basically get this relic. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the events. Let's go ahead and talk about the guild content. So in terms of the guild content, first of all, shout out to Towers Anonymous. This is my guild for Spartan Jr. In terms of the Guardians, you can see what we've been working on here. Pretty good overall in terms of our fetch. We're able to max out pretty much everything. We need to get a couple more clicks into the find chance and then reduce the cooldown a little bit more. And then we'll basically be good in terms of fetch. After that, all of our stuff will be going into summon. So that's currently the plan. In terms of the store, we pretty much have every single thing purchased here other than this last little set of stuff. So we'll go ahead and actually pick up this last level of bits. We should, in the next 12 days, be able to get all of this stuff fully done. So that's great. I truly do love the guild content. It's like the most free-to-play friendly part of this entire game. And look at all of these coin multipliers that you get. Definitely try to make sure that you are in an active guild. And if you're not, go to our Discord server, link in the video description, go to the Looking for Guild channel, and just say, hey, please, somebody send me a guild ID. I need to join a guild. I want to get these great free rewards. Also, shameless plug for the Discord server. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, guys, that is actually going to be a wrap for this episode of the Beginner Progress series. I hope that you guys found it beneficial. And yeah, like I mentioned previously, leave a like on the video if you liked it. Drop a comment down below and let me know how your tower's doing. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'd really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. And with that, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. But thank you guys so much for watching. And like always, I will see you guys later.